Hey guys, Justin Bryant here from selfmadesuccess.com. In this video, I'm going to quickly show you 5 of the best YouTube channel ideas for making money long term. So, I know a lot of people who watch this channel want to start their own YouTube channel or have one and they're not sure which direction to go in. So, I'm going to show you some ideas for going about creating a YouTube channel, a few different approaches that you can take to make it successful and actually build a long-term brand without just, having success for a year or two and then falling off the grid like a lot of YouTubers do. So hopefully you'll be able to build a successful YouTube channel kind of going off of some of these ideas. So the first thing, before I get into the 5 ideas for YouTube channels, you need to keep a few things in mind if you want to make this work. So you need to have an endless supply of video topics. So if you're just having to come up with stuff off the top of your head all the time, eventually you're going to run out of topics, especially if you're trying to make a full-time income, which means you're probably going to have to publish 5 videos or so per week, or at least one every other day to make a full-time income from YouTube. You're going to run out of topics very quickly. You have to be able to come up with ideas, you have to be able to come up with new topics, and that will eliminate a few different types of YouTube channels. So for instance, a comedy channel can run out of gas within a year or two, even if it has millions and millions of views for a while. A lot of times they don't last because you can only come up with so many jokes. It's hard to always come up with something that's funny to people, and people's senses of humor tend to change over time. So another thing is you need to either entertain or inform people. If you're not doing one of those things, then it's not going to go anywhere. You're going to basically be boring people, or people are just not going to care. You need to either inform them, help them get smarter, help them do something better, help them learn about what's going on in the world, or you need to entertain them. You need to make them laugh. You need to share with them things they didn't already know, or, show them something that really creates some kind of strong emotion. Positive emotion, of course. And then you need to be advertiser and user friendly. A lot of YouTubers are finding out with the big YouTube crisis and everything that's going on that if you are not advertiser friendly, advertisers will pull out, or you just won't make any money because they don't want their brand that they've worked so hard to build over decades to be next to something that doesn't make them look good, or they don't want to advertise on a channel that isn't going to convert into customers. So keep that in mind. Be advertiser friendly. Don't do anything super divisive. Don't talk about things that are very controversial and things like that. Be user friendly. Always be thinking about how you can help or entertain your audience and what they actually want. And YouTube Analytics will actually help you a lot with that. So there's 2 different directions you can go in. Option 1, you can go for high traffic volume and low CPM, which CPM is basically how much money you're making per 1,000 views, which is basically how your ads determine how much you're making money. So the average channel will probably get $1 or $2 per 1,000 views. If you're really good at targeting things that advertisers are interested in advertising on, then you could get a really high CPM that would be more like $5 or even $6 per 1,000 views. So if you look at something like PewDiePie, where it's all entertainment and stuff and it doesn't really go after keywords, he gets such high traffic volume that it doesn't matter. He still makes millions of dollars. But if you're worried about how much traffic you could actually get, because it's such a small amount of channels that actually get that much traffic, you might want to go more for lower medium traffic and go for high CPM. So I'll show you how to do that in a minute. But number 1 as far as YouTube channel ideas that you can do a reviews and comparisons channel. Now you could do just general reviews, you could do tech reviews, you could do business software reviews, you could go very narrow or very large. I recommend starting out kind of narrow in a smaller niche and then growing your channel. As you get more subscribers and stuff, you can kind of grow it and expand outward. One example of a channel like this is the Fun Toys Collector Disney Toys review channel, and most of the time you don't even see the person that is talking. All they do is they do a really close-up review of these little toys and somehow gets millions of views per video. So as you can see, if you look at the videos on the site, you can see that she makes what is estimated to be about $188,000 per month in revenue, which that's not always going to be accurate, but it's just an estimate based on if they're making, say, $1 or $2 per 1,000 views for CPM, then that's about how much they're making, because they got 125.7 million views in the last 30 days, and they've gotten 102.9 thousand new subscribers. So that's just an example of an extremely successful YouTube channel that does nothing but toy reviews. These are just little kid toys, basically. So you can see the amount of views, hundreds of thousands of views within a week of pretty much any video on here. So if you want to do, say, reviews and things like that, you might use, say, the keyword planner for Google. This allows you to search for specific things and figure out the suggested bid. So when I'm talking about CPM and the amount of views you can see how high the potential is for the views by looking at average monthly searches. And then you can look at the suggested bid for the potential CPM. So 46 cents is terrible, but if you want to get high CPM, you want to make a lot of money per 1,000 views without having to get so many millions of views just to make good money. You want to have this bid right here to be really high, at least $5 or more. So if you search for toys, for instance, you get a lot of search volume. 100,000 to 1 million is really good. You want to typically have at least 1 to 10,000, but suggested bid is terrible. You really want to be closer to $5 or more. But once you get into those suggested bids that are really high, usually your traffic potential is not as high. So keep that in mind. Use the Google AdWords keyword planner. It's completely free to use. And search for the different products you want to review. Search for the different videos you want to do as far as the topic. You want to keep your competition low to medium, preferably, because you don't want to have to compete with the top channels when you're starting out. But you want to have good monthly searches, and you want to have a high suggested bid, or you want to have really high monthly searches, and then you don't even need to worry about the suggested bid. So it's all about balancing your CPM and your potential views. So if you were to do like business software, if you did, say, like, if we typed in marketing, for instance, and you're doing a marketing channel and you do reviews of marketing tools, as you can see, your monthly searches went down a little bit, but your competition's lower and your suggested bid is over $6. If you go down here, you look at online marketing. So your monthly searches went down again, but your suggested bid is over $16. Content marketing, over $18. If you can rank as the top video for some of these really high CPMs, you don't even need to worry about getting millions of views. That's just how some people do it, because most people don't think to do, business and advertiser related channels. But there's the two different ways you can go. that's an example of a good review channel that's done very well, making hundreds of thousands of dollars per month in just ad revenue. Number 2, you can do a tutorials channel. So if you want to do a tutorials channel, one example would be like a makeup tutorials channel. So you can also show people how to build software. I've seen programming tutorial channels. I've seen like survivalist tutorial channels. I've seen all kinds of different channels. But tutorials, you're basically showing somebody how to do something. And these are very popular on YouTube. The great thing about it is you can always come up with things to do tutorials on. It's not going to be as easy as, say, a reviews channel to constantly come up with new content, which is a big deal when it comes to YouTube, is constantly coming up with new content. So if you're doing like a reviews channel, there's always going to be new toys coming out because these toy companies have to come out with new stuff all the time to make more money. These things are fads basically, and they're popular for a year and then they're not popular anymore and they have to come out with new toys. So that's an example of how review channels are so great, because you can constantly just review new stuff all the time as it comes out. Whereas tutorial channels are really going to be tougher to find subjects, but tutorials are very high performing on YouTube if you do a good job. So Nikki Tutorials is an example of a well done like makeup tutorials channel. If you want to look up kind of what people are wanting as far as tutorials, you might use Google Trends. You can go to trends.google.com. I'll have a link to this for you. But then you would go to the side menu on the left side and click on trending on YouTube. And then you'll come up to a page here where you can see, obviously you want to go based on your country. And then you can go by date. So you can see the top videos in terms of most popular and fastest growing on Google Trends for the last few days, last few months. It goes very far back. So you want to go based on like the last month or so, last 2 months maybe, to see what people are looking for. So for instance, this is a video about $1 versus $1,000 ice cream and what the difference is. Obviously people are really fascinated by that. It's kind of an entertaining video. Cars, people love cars. You have all these different types of videos on here, and you can see what is the most popular. And a lot of times you can find some popular tutorial videos in here, and even some popular review channels as well. So whatever people want to know how to do something. You could even use, say, WikiHow and just go down the list of different tutorials on WikiHow and turn them into videos, and you can create a really strong channel doing stuff like that. But you can use Google Trends based on the day and see what is the most popular and what people want to know about. And this can actually be used, of course, for any channel type. So tutorials channels do very well as long as you can come up with new content all the time. Number 3, news channels. So the great thing about news channels is you never have to run out of content. So there's always going to be thousands of news stories going on per day. Of course, you have to sort through what's going to be popular on YouTube and what's not. Somebody that does a good job of this is Philip DeFranco. You can check out his YouTube channel. He has over 5 million subscribers, millions of views per month, got 22.6 million in the last 30 days. He's gotten 1.8 billion total views. He's been doing this a long time, and really he hasn't, from what I can tell, changed his format that much. It's worked for a long time, and he's somebody who's very consistent. He does a lot of videos. He does one about 5 days per week, and you can see that he makes probably around 34,000 or so per month in revenue if he's around $1 or so per 1,000 views. So what he does is he talks about a lot of the latest news, and it's kind of just an entertainment channel. But you can see here, within 17 hours, this video got over 900,000 views. Within a day, almost 1 million. Within 5 days, over 1.3 million. So he's still doing very well, getting millions of views. He talks about YouTube news. He talks about other controversial news, fake news, all kinds of stuff that is going on. And he uses news as his main way of entertaining you and giving his take on the latest news. So if you want to find the latest news that people are really going to want to know about and use it on your YouTube channel, I would recommend you look at yahoo.com's homepage. So Yahoo is a search engine, but it's not quite as strong as, say, Google and Bing, in my opinion. So, but the good thing about Yahoo is it can give you a lot of great ideas for the latest news because it has all the latest and most popular news on its home page. So you can find stuff about entertainment, politics, business, tech, worldwide news, more national or local news. All kinds of stuff is on here. So whatever your type of news that you're covering, or even if it's just general news, you can find some of the most popular stories on Yahoo and use them as your subjects on YouTube. So you can look at somebody like Philip DeFranco and get an idea of how you could do that with just a simple format of you talking into a camera and being entertaining and talking about what's going on. You can also check out channels like Business Insider and The Daily Show and some of these others that also talk about news. But you'll never run out of content if you do a news channel. Number 4, gaming channels. So gaming channels, you're kind of like how a review channel always has new toys coming out. With a gaming channel, there's always going to be new video games coming out. So what you can do is record yourself playing these games and use the gameplay as your YouTube videos. So an example of this would be what the Rad Brad does. The Rad Brad is a YouTube channel with millions, over 7 million subscribers, estimated to make about 64,000 plus per month in revenue, over 2.7 billion total views, and 1.4 million average daily views. So all he does is play video games, talk about what he's doing. He'll do like different parts of games and record himself doing walkthroughs or record himself doing specific missions or something. He'll play a lot of different types of games. He doesn't stick to just 1 or 2 games. And so that's kind of the secret to what he does. He has, gameplay of a lot of different popular games. So what you can do is see which games are coming out by going to IGN.com, and you can see what the latest games are, which ones are going to be coming out soon. You could use Gamefly to have a subscription to where you can basically play unlimited games, so you don't have to buy each one to do tutorials on. But with one video like the Rad Brad does, if he makes $1 per 1,000 views even, and he gets on average, let's say 200,000 or 300,000 views each, he's more than paying for each one of those video games because they don't cost near that much. So it makes him money for months and even years in the future for each video. And all he had to do was get the video game, whether he used something like Gamefly where it's a subscription or he just bought the game. And then of course you can sell the game once your videos aren't popular for that one anymore. So there's a lot of different ways that you could structure it, but video game channels tend to do extremely well. and you're never going to run out of content because video games are such a huge industry. Number 5, last but not least, you could do, say, a guest speaker or an interview channel. So basically what you're doing here is you're accumulating videos of other people speaking, or you and someone else speaking. So you're not having to worry about boring people with just your take all the time. You're focusing on what other people are saying, what other people's advice is. Let's say you reference the TED Talks channel. The TED Talks channel has entrepreneurs, scientists, nutritionists, psychologists, doctors, all kinds of people come on here. They speak for about 15 minutes and they talk about some incredible ideas that are worth spreading, which is basically their motto. So you can see they have a little under 7 million subscribers. They have over $32,000 in monthly revenue for just this channel. They actually have other channels as well. As you can see here, they have a lot of different channels now. But they get about 725 or so average daily views. And they put out a lot of content because they don't have one person doing all the speaking. They have a lot of people doing speaking. So not only are they helping these people grow their brands or grow their awareness for what it is they want to talk about, but they can make a lot of money from YouTube because they are not having to do all of the content by themselves. They have a lot of different speakers. And if you look at all the major websites as well, you'll notice that they have a lot of guest bloggers and things like that. So it's basically the same concept, except you're applying it to YouTube. So I haven't seen a whole lot of channels really doing this, except, say, the TED Talks channels. There's a handful that do interviews and things like that, you know. Tim Ferriss does a great podcast where he interviews some of the most successful people in different industries, but he hasn't translated that to YouTube yet. And as far as coming up with new content ideas all the time, well into the future, there's always going to be new people rising up and becoming successful, new people that will always have new opinions, and you'll never run out of people that you could possibly interview or get to be a guest speaker. So if you want to connect with people like that, one of the best places I've found to connect with people to do these collaborations is LinkedIn.com. So you can go to LinkedIn and you can find people, whether they're business people, entertainers, politicians, whatever it is, and you can contact them here, connect with them, email them, whatever you want to do. But if you can just contact, say, 25 people a day, you'll get a handful of them respond to you, and you'll always have people that could potentially do videos for you. And because you're not doing them all yourself, you could have multiple videos going out each day, resulting in a lot more revenue. So those are 5 ideas as far as YouTube channels that you could do. I found that you want to focus on either going for a high CPM and not worrying as much about high traffic. That way you're making more money for the little traffic you have. Or you can go for really high traffic and not worry too much about CPM and just try to be one of the most entertaining or most viewed channels out there. But you have to be able to constantly be improving your channel, either entertaining or informing people, and you need to have unlimited ideas and topics that you could do. So products, people, businesses, video games, news, those are types of things that you can constantly be getting new topics and never have to just sit there and try to think of something each day that you can do a video on. So those are kind of some of the secrets to a long-term successful channel, and those are a few ideas that you could possibly look at. So if you got something from this video, if you feel like you learned something that could help you, please like and subscribe so I can create more videos like this for you. Also, if you know of some other YouTube channel ideas, or you just want to add to this conversation, maybe give us some tools and resources that might help people watching this video, or you want to just let me know what you thought about the video in general, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you and get your feedback and build on this topic for people. I'm always trying to improve these videos as well, so whatever you want to comment on, let me know. And all of the resources, examples, and ideas, as well as video notes and related content to this video, will all be on one page at selfmadesuccess.com for you. And you can find that there, or you can find the link to that page in the video description. So other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a great day.